Good morning, everyone. And thank you for coming to this, our second class as a fundraiser for the Indigenous peoples in Lytton, British Columbia. So thank you for supporting this Karma Yoga class, and it's also becoming a master class for teachers and experienced yogis. Today, by request of those here, we are going to be working with lower back and hips. That will also include the legs. We'll be doing a little bit of upper back for one of you as well, and mind and motion. So it sounds like we got the body covered. So just finding your feet. Exhale, bend your knees, feel the bottoms of your feet, tracking the knees over second toes. Inhale, straightening and maybe opening the arms to open the back. Exhale, perhaps bringing the hands to the belly, perhaps rounding the spine. Inhale, opening. Just getting your breath going. You can start with a ha breath if you like. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Just doing this in your own timing. When you're ready, adding Brahmari, the bee breath, very regulating for the nervous system. Do this in your own timing. It doesn't have to be with me, any length of breath. So notice how your breath lengthens through that sound. Perhaps touching the hips as you do that exhale, that second chakra area. You can keep this going or come to the heart center and add Om. Inhale, arms to the side. You can visualize that radiant sun all around you. Hands to heart. Inhale, sweeping the arms through that radiance all around you. Left, right, top, bottom. Last time. Together, if that's comfortable, hands at the heart if you like, or you can cross them as a modification. Yogena Chittasya. If you don't know this chant, you can just join as you can. I'll do call response, and I will email it, the link to you. It's on my website. This is to Patanjali. This is the way my teachers in India start each yoga class. Yogena Chittasya. Repeat. Yogena Chittasya. Padena Vacham. Repeat. Padena Vacham. Malam Sharirasya Cha.
malam sharirasya cha vaidyakena Yopakarotam Pravaram munena Patanjalim Pranjaliranatosmi Abahu Purushakaram Shankachakrasitarinam Sahasrashirasam Shvetam Pranamami Patanjalim Srimate Anantaya Nagarajaya Namo Namaha Srimate Anantaya Nagarajaya Namo Namaha Namo Namaha Namo Namaha.
And release the hands down when you're ready. Inhale, arms sweeping up to the sides. If it's comfortable, you can stretch your hands way up to get a bit more length under the armpits. And exhale, coming down. Now arms to the front. Inhale, arms coming to the front. Inhaling chest to belly, tucking the chin in, Jalandhara Bandha. Exhale, pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in, chest falls, and you can bend the knees as you exhale if that helps you ground. Classically legs straight. Inhale, arms to the sides. You can interlock the fingers or palms together and stretching up long. Exhale, coming down. Inhale, coming up front. Exhale, hands coming down. Keep this going, 2 more rounds on your own timing. When you've finished, just standing in samasthiti. You can do 3 more rounds if you like, bringing it to 6. So classically, the fingers are together, but modification, you can always spread the fingers apart to create more space. And just standing in your samasthiti. Just pulling up on the legs. Feeling your mula, your core. Going to the side now. Inhale, arms coming up. We're going to have the balance later on the toes. We're going to do that later, okay? Exhale, coming to your left. So the palms can be together like this, or you can bring one arm down and go a little deeper into the hip, perhaps, sticking the hip out. Focus being hips, lower back today. That might be a better modification. Inhale, center. Exhale, side. You can also bend that top arm for a different effect. Just notice the difference when you bend the top arm, how it might get into the rib cage a bit more and possibly more into the hips. So just notice that, or you might like having both arms straight or one. Again, just noticing your preference. Now, if you would like to add coming up onto the toes, you can inhale, come up in the center, and exhale. You can keep that balance as long as possible as you come to the side, and then I like to let it go at the end to go more deeply into the stretch, or you can keep up on the toes the whole time. And this is a choice. You might not choose this. Creates more concentration, also dynamically warming up the calves and the feet. Keeping those feet strong in the ankles. Doing around 6 rounds. Left to right, I'm mirroring you. And then when you feel complete, perhaps staying on one side. So that's our first stay pose today. Staying on one side. Now you can choose this position. You can hold opposite elbows. You can also cross to get more into the hips, lower back, cross the same foot that you're on. So I'm crossing my left foot over and leaning to the left. And I'm getting into your right hip. You can up the ante even further by coming to the wall. So if you happen to have a wall nearby, you can do that. And thank you for having your cameras on, but I don't need to see everything because I know you guys know what you're doing. You can run to a wall, it's okay. So just feel that. And again, just being careful, it's fairly early in the morning for most of you, so exhale, you might not be ready for that deepest stretch yet. Okay, so just be mindful of that. We're going to go to the other side with our stay. Inhale, center. Exhale, crossing over that right foot. Maybe this gets us more into the QL, quadratus lumborum, which is a big connector between the hips and the lower back. Causes a lot of trouble. And I've learned from many of my students and my own experience that tightness here can lead to back spasms. So I'm quite keen on stretching it in most of my classes to avoid that. Also IT band. So it can help with knee issues as well, misalignments caused by tightness in the side of the leg. And notice if one side is tighter than the other. I know some of you, a couple of you in the room have scoliosis, so that's probably your situation. And yes, beautiful. You can also keep it dynamic if you don't want to stay. When you're ready, coming out of it and coming back to the center. And let's just do old-fashioned inhale, coming up on the toes. We're going to use nyasam. So I know all of you know this, but just in case you forget, inhale, thumb coming up the finger, exhale, finger coming down the thumb, and flick with all 4 fingers, starting with the index. This is for neck and shoulders, for headaches. One of you in the room I know gets headaches often, so this is for you. Inhale, coming up. And I'm doing Jalandhara Bandha, that chin lock at the top. Exhale, coming down. Now, as I come down, I'm trying to time my heels coming down with that flick as the hands come down, okay? And then the next one, do this in your own timing. Each finger moving towards that little finger. We'll do one round of 4, so just the 4 fingers. So I've started adding this balance a little bit later in my intro, sometimes even later in the class, once we're a bit more warmed up. That's inspired by some classes I've been taking with a student of Ramaswamy, who studied with Krishnamacharya in the 1960s. He puts this part of the sequence a little bit later. That pause between inhale and exhale when you're done. Just standing in your samsthiti. Notice where you're at. Where's your weight? Is it more on one foot versus the other? Just notice where you're at right now, and we'll watch how that changes throughout the class. Okay, so we're going to do more side bends, that lower back hip area. So we're going to start with Utthita Trikonasana. The feet can be parallel, or they could be slightly turned out if that felt better for your hips. Okay, so we're just going to start with this side movement. Very simple. Inhale, arms to the side. Exhale, coming to your left, so that we just focus first more on the upper back. Inhale, center. Exhale, other side. So just the triangle side to side. You can do this with the feet turned out to go more into the hips right away. I like isolating the upper back first before I head into the hips, but you'll see pictures of Krishnamacharya in and around the 1960s doing this with his feet turned out. Perhaps cluing into all those triangles that your body's making. Triangle between your legs, triangle under that lower arm, triangle from the top hand down to the foot and across, and just finishing up your last round. Exhale, release. So you do that 4 to 6 times. We're going to turn to the left and go a little bit more deeply into the hips. So pivoting the feet to the left. Inhale, arms coming up. Exhale, you're going to stretch way to the side, bring the other hip to the side. That's more of an Iyengar cueing that can be helpful for getting into the hip. Now that leg here, if your knee is unstable, you can bend it, okay? That's a cue I got many years ago, very helpful, especially for those of you with scoliosis. One of your knees might be a little wonky, and just finding your pose, noticing you're going down a little bit more. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, going into it. Knowing this is morning, I am going to make sure I do these vinyasas before we stay. Do this in your own timing. Exhale, pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in. This also strengthens the core as we move away from the center, which is just really cool that you get a strong core just by moving your torso, sides, front, and even back. When you get to around your 4th time, consider staying. If it doesn't feel comfortable, keep it moving.
Now, that lower hand, if you don't have to put weight on it, that will make your core work even more. Notice your head. So some of us with neck issues, we might want to turn our head away and look at the foot. Inhale, looking to the front. Exhale, turning away, maybe that top hand back. Just one more. Inhale, expanding, maybe looking up, top hand back. Exhale, looking away, down. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, feet parallel, arms down, just take a pause. It's a lot of work. So again, keep it moving if staying is not working for you this morning. Turning your feet the other direction. Heel to heel alignment or heel to arch, depending on your body, or even wider, okay? So depends on you. Inhale, arms coming up. Exhale, bringing that left hip to the side, drawing that right hip back. Finding as if there's a wall behind you, drawing the belly in, finding your pose. Try not to collapse that front shoulder, shoulders aligned. So you might do it this way, for example, with that top arm behind you to keep that shoulder aligned. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, coming into your pose. Doing this 4 to 6 times, or you can keep it going longer. You can always take a break at any time. Ujjayi pranayama, constricting the throat. So my teachers in India don't talk about the integration of Ujjayi into the practice of asana, but if you quiz them on it, they are doing a very subtle contracting of the throat, audible to themselves. And that's how Iyengar also taught it. It's just audible to yourself. And when you're ready, staying here, that belly drawn in. And then if you like, as you inhale, bring that top arm back and exhale, turn away. Inhale. Exhale, turn the head away, that top arm back. Inhale. Exhale, turn the head, top arm back. You might find yourself going more deeply into the pose. And yes, that top arm, of course, can be long. When you're ready, inhale, coming up. Exhale, release. And bringing your feet parallel. Let's do our first forward bend. Inhale, arms coming up by the sides. And again, you can stretch those fingers apart if you have any tightness in the palms, or fingers together. Exhale, forward fold with an Om. Inhale, coming up. You do Om again. Next one we're going to do is Om Namo. Take a pause between the two sounds to have that krama, those steps in the breath, building capacity for exhaling. Om Namo. Inhale, coming up. Again, Om Namo.
Om Namo.
Next to Om Namo Namaha.
Om Namo Namaha.
Again.
Om Namo Namaha.
Last one. Om Namo Nama Namaha. So this is a new one for some of you. Takes it that much further.
Om Namo Nama Namaha.
So you're trying to do that in one breath. If you can, just speed it up so it works for you.
Om Namo Nama Namaha.
Stay in your forward bend. And if you have one leg longer than the other, which I know some of you do, you can bring that foot back. Just see that helps balance things out for you a bit. This pose, Uttanasana, very regulating for the nervous system. It's very much an act of surrender. It's very Langana, it's very reducing of the malas of the mind, the body, those toxins of body-mind. When you feel ready, inhale, come halfway up. Like bend your knees. I'm bringing my hands on my legs. Exhale, stay. Inhale the rest of the way up. Exhale, samastiti. So I do come into that slowly because it is a big change for the blood pressure, the nervous system to move from head down to head up. And for the physical body, after a deep stretch, I usually take it slowly. So just noticing how you feel now. I'd like you in particular pay attention to your feet. If in the beginning you could feel only one foot, maybe now you can feel both. Okay, we're going to do our land acknowledgement today with paying homage to the 7 directions. So facing to your east, if you can figure out where that is in your space. This is based on something, again, I'll put in the notes when I post the class. Everything will be there. Ding Namaskaram. It's a slight modification. Inhale, arms coming up to the sides. Now you can have the palms together, or you can interlock the fingers here. And then exhale, palms together, coming halfway down as the belly comes in. And this is paying homage to the east. So I'm acknowledging this seashell territory I'm on and acknowledging the eastern direction, all the deities, protecting this direction of the earth. Inhale, coming up. Interlock the fingers if you like, turning to your south. Inhale here. Exhale again, coming halfway down. Rounding the spine slightly. I like to bend the knees. Paying homage to the south. Inhale, coming up. Turning to your west. Exhale, coming halfway down. Paying homage to the west. Inhale, coming up. Turning to the north. Exhale, halfway down. Inhale, coming up. Turning back to the east. Exhale, stay. Inhale, looking up. Paying homage to the upper direction. Exhale, forward bend. Now I like to take this through Namaskaram. Paying homage to the lower direction, to the earth. Inhale, coming up, if you like, interlocking the fingers, arms long. Then bringing the arms apart in a position like this, coming halfway down, palms up, paying homage to the intermediate directions, the sides. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, hands to the heart, samastiti. Feet apart or together, your choice. So I'd like you to try this on your own if you like, in your own timing or with me. We're going to do it one more time. Inhale, arms coming up, interlock the fingers. Facing east. Exhale to the east. Inhale, coming up. I bend the knees as I do that for safety of the back. Coming to your south. Exhale, homage to the south. Inhale, coming up. Turning to your west. Exhale, paying homage to the west again. The back can be straight, drawing the belly in. The legs can be straight if that works for your body. So that's classical. Inhale, coming up, everything straight. Turning to your north. Exhale, paying homage to the northern direction. All the deities there. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, stay. Inhale, looking up to the sky, paying homage to the sky, the upper direction, all the deities here. Right away, exhaling, forward fold, classically arms straight. And coming just in front of you, so this is classical, you can modify, of course. Paying homage to the lower direction. Inhale, coming up, interlocked fingers. Bringing the palms apart, palms up, arms to the side. Paying homage to the intermediate directions. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, hands to the heart, samastiti. Just take a moment to acknowledge the land that you are on today, the territory. That's meaningful for you. I'm coming from the Seashell Nation on the Sunshine Coast in a place called Sekswamane.
acknowledging the indigenous origins of yoga through our use of Sanskrit, through our respect for our teachers in Chennai. Through Desgachar and Krishnamacharya, this knowledge has come to us. And for all the yogis before who passed it to them. Okay. So moving more into those hips. All right, I'm just going to be moving, it looks like in all directions today because of what's going on. Feet apart, Trikonasana. We're going to do Trikonasana Parivriti. We're going to do the vinyasa version side to side, and then I'm going to do a version that targets the hips a little bit more. Inhale, arms to the sides. This one's great for mind emotions as well. Exhale, coming towards your left. Now you can modify by bending that knee. You can modify by bringing the top arm behind you on your lower back. You can modify looking to the side wall or looking down. Classically looking up. Inhale, untwist the head, neck, shoulders, middle back, lower back, hips, standing. Exhale, other side, pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in, chest falls. Moving the neck, the head to your place, aligning those hips if you can, draw the belly in. Inhale, untwist the head, neck, shoulders, upper back, middle back, lower back, hips. Exhale, starting position. Now you can skip this exhale in between as an option. Okay, keep this going your own time. I'm going to add it today to add that little moment of grounding. I invite you to do this in your own time and add a hold after exhale if that's appropriate for you. Remember to exhale from the bottom up, inhale from the top down. This movement really helps us embody that pedagogy. Your hold after exhale can be half the length of your exhale as a starting point or the same length. You're doing this around 6 times, 4 to 6 times, depending on your breath pattern. Starting to exhale before starting to move, still exhaling at the end of the movement, holding after exhale, lining those hips, and again, modifying by bending any of the limbs. You can also add blocks on either side. You can also, if you want to work more with the upper back, bring the hand to the center. So I'm just going to show that this time. This targets more the upper back, neck, and shoulders. This version could be contraindicated for SI joint issues. It's definitely been the case for some students I've worked with, so be careful if that is your lower back issue. This might not be appropriate. You can do the regular side version of Trikonasana if this is not working for you. And just finishing up, we're going to just do one more together that I want to teach you, might not have done before. So when you're ready, inhale, arms coming to the sides. Exhale, stay. On the hold after exhale, coming to your left. Now you can come out of it right away or continue to hold a couple of seconds. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, stay. Moving on the hold after exhale, this is very cleansing for the liver, for the gut. Hold after exhale still. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, release. So I invite you to do that one more time if you like. It's great for Pitta Prakriti. This is regulating that Pitta dosha, decreasing it, any imbalance, and moving us towards Tejas or Agni. Exhale, stay. By cleaning the mala, cleaning the toxins out of the gut or the ama. And the mala's out of the mind for sure. So I like to do a hold on both sides. That's up to you. Doing this on your own. And that really builds your exhale, your capacity. And you come to the center. Let's take a break here with Ardha Utkatasana. We're going to do it with a forward bend movement. This is also for balancing those hips. Inhale, arms at the sides. Exhale, bend the knees. And you can imagine you're hugging a tree. So we're going to start with this modified version, getting into neck and shoulders as well as those hips, lower back. Inhale, arms at the side. Exhale, Ardha Utkatasana. Sorry, I think I might have said Uttanasana, Utkatasana. Just do this around 6 times. Drawing that belly in as you exhale, coming down as low as is comfortable. Inhale. And just finishing up when you're ready. Now, if you want to come all the way down, I invite you to do that. If you need a prop like I do, you can put something under your heels. Otherwise, coming down all the way. If this doesn't work for your knees or your lower back, just come halfway as we've been doing. We're going to do more classical arms now. Inhale, arms coming up, sides or front. Interlock those fingers at the top or palms together. Exhale, pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in, coming all the way down. If you can, I'm going to release the arms at the bottom of the exhale to get into neck and shoulders as well. Inhale, moving the arms in line with the ears. And if someone's picking you up like a basket coming up, you could release your hands now and take a break or just go up and down. So your choice, just keep it going. I usually don't take that break, but you certainly can. Show that the next one. You just take a break in between as a reset. It also is very nice for the mind and emotions to add that piece. If you tend to be a speedy vata, I invite you actually to take the time to take that pause in between. The arms can always move sides if you've got shoulder issues. So just modify those arms according to your neck and shoulders.
This is fantastic for grounding of mind emotions. It's fantastic for balancing the hips and stretching the lower back. So everything we're doing today, this pose embodies. And it keeps those legs strong. And after you've finished a round 6 for yourself, just coming down and having a seat. All right. So just notice how your hips feel at this point. We're going to be working them more soon. Just taking a rest here. You feel ready moving into Vajrasana. No, this doesn't work for your knees. You can always start in this position instead. So transition to supine. Inhale, arms coming up. Chin in. Exhale, forward fold. Arms in front. Head down. If you can, inhale, Chakrabakasana, aligning those wrists and shoulders. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. This doesn't work for you, just round the cat instead. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, work with the lower back. Start rounding the back right away and coming back from that rounded place. And notice at what point you get a nice stretch into your lower back. Bringing your hands back so they're under your shoulders. Release the head. Stay here for a moment. When you're ready, inhale, coming up, arms in front or sides. If that doesn't work for you, you can also interlock those fingers, which is helpful for imbalances in the spine like scoliosis. Exhale, sitting down, pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in, trying to bring the hands down at the same moment the buttocks reaches the legs. I'm going to do that 3 more times in your own timing. Inhale. I'll cue 1 more. Exhale forward. Now, instead of doing Chakrabakasana here, you can add Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Your toes can be tucked under or released. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, Chakrabakasana or Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Vajrasana. Inhale, standing Vajrasana. Exhale, seated Vajrasana. All variations of diamond. Do this 2 more times in your own.
You can also invite you to stay in the downward facing dog for a few breaths to work the legs. When you finished, just lie down and rest. Doing this 2 more rounds, your own timing. Stay in child's pose a little longer too. You're not lying down, consider lying down with your head away from the front of your mat. So I face east generally when I practice in the morning. And then when I lie down, classically the head is facing the other direction because we don't put our feet towards the teacher, the ultimate teacher, represented by the sun. And just lying still. Your legs can be bent. They can be straight. You can use the wall for support and more of a suptasana rather than shavasana rest. So we're just going to do a couple of supine poses to prepare for seated. I don't do too much supine in morning classes. So bending the legs, doing some Dvipadipedam with focus on lower back and hips. And we'll add a mind emotion piece as well. Inhale, lifting the hips up, the arms are down. So this keeps the focus more on the lower back. Exhale, stay. Inhale, I want to see if you can lift those toes up. Get a little higher into the hips. Exhale, bring the heels down. Inhale, lift the hips up. Exhale, bring the heels down. If it's too much, come down at any time. Inhale, lift the heels up, lift those hips up, so strengthening those hips and lower back, stretching the front of the hips. Exhale down. Now, if you've got one hip that's tighter than the other, you can bring that foot forward.
And when you're ready, release, coming down. Okay, the next one we're going to do, if you need a break, do āsana in between. Otherwise, we're going to go into a hip opener. And we're going to lift the hips from there. Okay, so in this opener, inhale, lift the hips up. Feel that stretch in the front of the hips. Exhale, come down. Now, if you're feeling unstable, you could put a soft block underneath the lower back to remove some of the curve of the lower back, and it might give you actually a deeper hip opener when you come down. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, coming down. So Sridhar invented this for me many years ago for my hips. I don't think I've ever seen him give it to anyone else. Now, if it's comfortable, you can stay at the top and breathe here. You can also tuck those shoulders underneath, interlock the fingers, lift a little higher. You're ready, coming down. Prāṇāyāma, I'm going to put a block underneath my back. You do not have to do this. This helps just decrease any lordosis in the lower back. Exhale, knees to chest with feather-light touch, or you can release those hands and just move the legs to force you to use the apana to move your legs in that mula bandha. Hold after exhale if you like. If this is bothering your hips, you can keep the knees wide. If it's bothering your hips. You can add a hold after exhale. Stretching those legs to the ceiling, and you could have a block under the hips to give you a bit more inversion. Exhale, bringing the legs towards your face. Inhale, bring one leg down towards the floor all the way, or just a little bit down. Exhale, bringing that leg up, using the core strength, and feet towards the face. Inhale, now you can add both arms or one arm or opposite arm as you do this inhale movement. Exhale, start to exhale before you start to move. And if you want to add some pointing and flexing of the feet, you can do that. Ekapada Urdhva Prasrita Padasana. This is strengthening the core, so important for lower back hip stability. We're also stretching our lower back by bringing our legs back a bit, and we're getting a semi-inversion for the mind emotions. You can do both legs, but it's hard for even a ballet dancer to actually engage the core as they move both legs. I was told by a physio once, so I just keep that in mind. But you can try. Just bring it down, maybe not all the way. or you can bend your knees a bit as you come towards the ground just for safety. Just see if that works for your body. And when you've had enough, bring the knees to the chest and up an asana, rest. It's our last asana today. So we'll just take a short rest before we move to our pranayama. So shavasana or suptasana. So in Chennai, they don't do long shavasanas. They're quite short unless they're used in place of meditation for therapeutic purposes. When you're ready, come to seated. Or you might choose today to stay in shavasana if that's what you need. Okay, so if you want to just do shavasana instead, because your body needs more of a rest, you can just do ujjayi pranayama instead of the seated pranayama we're doing. For those of you joining for seated pranayama, finding your place, you're welcome to put the weight of a bolster or block across the hips for comfort of the nervous system. Something I learned this past summer from our restorative teacher, which I found actually very soothing for that area, that vulnerable area. You can have blocks under the knees, of course, and sit any position that works. You can be at a chair. Okay. So we're going to keep going with our prāṇāyāma ujjayi pranayama, which is a very balancing, neutral pranayama. Very balancing for the mind and the body. Inhale, both nostrils, ujjayi, exhale, left. Inhale, left. Exhale, ujjayi, both. Inhale, both. Exhale, right. Inhale, right. Exhale, both. Okay, so I'll just do one round with you and then you'll be on your own. I switch hands with my hand movement. Classically, it's just your right hand. Inhale, ujjayi pranayama, both nostrils. And I'm going to mirror for you. Exhale, left. Keeping that elbow high. Inhale, left. Half closed left if you can. Exhale, both. I'm doing the breath fairly short for this marking run through. Inhale, both. Exhale, right. Inhale, right. Exhale, both. Now you can add holds after inhale and after exhale, or just after inhale or just after exhale, to lift the energy after inhale, to soothe the nervous system after exhale. For a balanced approach, a hold after both. The hold can be half the length of your inhale or the same length as a general rule. If you want more information, book a private and we can work on it together. Pick a ratio that works for you. Classically, we do 12 rounds. Today, we're probably going to do about 6 according to your breath pattern. Might be more or less. Initially, just do some ujjayi pranayama, both nostrils. And most of you are complete. If you're not complete, just keep going or join us for our close. Hands at the heart. Shanti together. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Hari Om. Stay. Namaskaram. Bow to that in you, which is the same as that in me, the same as that in all.